Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we have a very special video for you. We haven't done a meltdown in ages. So my friend David here with Armory came down, and they're going to be doing some recording here for us today to throw together a really epic video for y'all so we can get back in the saddle with our meltdowns. We got a real cool rig here that we're going to be checking out here. We got a Wolfpack Armory upper with a 10.5-inch barrel. It's a 10.3 inch M-lock rail that's on this. Okay, it's a 1 and 8 twist, 223 wild chamber. It is a DI gun with a carbine length gas system. We're running a Sylvan all titanium suppressors, grade 5 titanium baffles, grade 9 titanium tube. So it is a fully serviceable but all tie suppressor we're going to be running. So we are adding a little bit on there, aren't we?
Yep, a little bit. So one thing I'm actually really curious about is how the suppressor is going to affect the functionality of that upper. So why don't you maybe go into some variables about what the suppressor is actually doing to this upper?
Yep. Well, David, we are adding a couple of variables to this situation. So normally when we do meltdowns, we're running just an upper by itself. We have done a couple of suppressor meltdowns before. The suppressor does introduce some additional back pressure. We're running an H2 buffer. This is a machine gun lower with all BCM parts, including their spring and buffer, and it's an H2 buffer. So even with the H2, the additional back pressure from the can is getting a pretty fast cyclic rate. So it is going to be dumping some rounds pretty quick. We are going to be running the rounds in the exact same order that we've always ran from day one. We're running 55 grain PMC X-Tac ammunition. So we usually run 55 grain. Sometimes we run 62. I try to run generally 55 grain. So we're going to get into this thing now. We are going to be introducing a lot of heat. I think where it's going to fail is the gas tube right behind the gas block itself. It usually will fry right there, and on the DI gun, the gas tube is sort of the fuse in this machine, and the gas tube is designed to fail before the rest of the gun croaks. Now, in some of our previous tests, we've found that that's not always the case. Sometimes the barrel bursts, sometimes the gas tube cooks, sometimes we have other extenuating circumstances, but the addition of the can is going to provide a lot of extra back pressure and a lot of extra heat, and that's something to consider. So we don't know if the can's going to die first or...
It's up in the air. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? If you could guess, what would you put a round count if you could maybe make a bet?
A round count?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, now I put a poll out on Instagram where I was asking people to guess. Okay. And we had any number of different guesses, all the way from like 300 rounds on up to one guy I think said it was going to last like 1,900 rounds or something crazy. I think we're probably going to end up going about 500 or so.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be about the benchmark we can look for on this. Now, full disclosure, with the addition of the suppressor, that does introduce that additional variable. So the gun would probably last longer without the can on it, but maybe in the future we will revisit this video with another upper from Wolfpack without the can, so we can have that data point to go on. So without further ado, I think we should probably go and get after it.
Probably. Let's send it.
All right, let's do it. All right, we're gonna get this meltdown running here. Let me grab a magazine. All right.
Wait.
Well, it's Autumn from Autumn's Armory. What have you brought me?
I have brought you this little guy, and I've been reading the comments, and people have been saying you don't shoot anything or destroy anything in the meltdown videos, so I brought you that.
Why, thank you, Autumn. It's beautiful. I'd be happy to destroy it. That's a nice hat, little girl.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Gingerbread House. Yeehaw! We're doing a meltdown. Boy, it's getting hot, ladies and gentlemen. That is one hot suppressor. Look at this, a bulge already. Clear. Gun is clear. Suppressor is absolutely jacked, but we're going to continue because the gun looks like it's going to run just fine. And that can is just gonna have to stay where it's at. Look at the baffle coming out. Yeah! Chad, where you at? Let's pull this can off of here. You got the welding glove over here. Let's get the can off and continue the test. That's getting a little outlandish there. Let's pull the suppressor off, Chad. Gun is clear. Bolt is to the rear. Okay, removing the suppressor. Suppressor is jettisoned. We're going to continue the test. Gas tube is getting hot, boys and girls. Now don't pass any more of those 30s to me. I got to get through the correct amount of 30s. How many 30s was that? Was that 10 already? Whoa, hang on. Whoa. Cook off. The gas tube has ruptured. The gun is down. That last cook off was the gas tube. You can come on over here. See the gas tube? Yep. All right, so that was the gas tube. All right, let's go ahead and get a round count and we'll talk about what happened. Let's do it. A lot going on here. So that's a pretty interesting result there on our Wolfpack Armory upper there and our Sylvan suppressor, the titanium tube and baffles. So thank you for the gingerbread house, Autumn.
You're welcome.
We destroyed it on the first mag, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe the first 5 rounds.
Yeah, I was expecting, you know, maybe next time you might want to up armor that house. It didn't hold up very well.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, so what do you think happened here, Autumn?
With the can or the gun?
Yeah, I mean, like, you saw what happened. What do you think?
For the can, I don't really know what happened. I don't know if it got too hot. I don't know what happened. Maybe there was too much friction going through it with that full auto.
You know, a lot of heat.
Yeah, a lot of heat and a lot of friction, I think, is what did it on there, on the can. But the gun, I have no idea what happened.
Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit. What do you think, David?
Yeah, so I definitely think all the heat just running through that just constantly, definitely just, I mean, you saw the fireworks show, it just blew out the side of that thing. It was epic. It looked awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
cool to see it.
this is a user serviceable titanium suppressor. So it's worth noting that the end cap is still intact. It didn't come out. Now it did shoot through the end cap a little bit there, and it destroyed several of the baffles. There's a stainless steel blast baffle that's in here. It popped out and worked its way out kind of like that. And we decided for safety reasons to go ahead and pull the suppressor at that point. That's when Chad came in with the welding gloves and got it off of there. And we proceeded to shoot a couple of more rounds without the suppressor. The gun ran quite well. Of course, you noticed the rate of fire slowed back down.
Yes.
Well, why would the rate of fire slow down after the can came off?
I don't know.
Back pressure. So you're getting more gases and more gas pressure coming back through the gun, and it's causing the gun to run a little faster. So that's why. So we're getting that faster rate of fire from that additional back pressure. Once the back pressure was taken off, we removed the can, the gun slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah.
We proceeded, I think the round count ended up being 330 rounds total. That was between the can and the gun. Now it's worth noting that if we would have went into this test without running suppressor at all, I think the benchmark for this upper would certainly be in the 600 to 800 range, a little bit more indicative of what a DI gun would typically do.
Yeah.
So we did introduce some additional variables, which we discussed. We pulled the rail system off Autumn. And then one thing we noticed is I do like the way that this particular wedge they use and this barrel nut locks this rail system in really nice. So this little piece here goes in there, holds it on nice and tight. So that's cool. I do like that particular rail. The gas tube did fail where we thought it was going to fail right at the gas block.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head whenever you talked about that, because you said this is where it's going to fail, and boom, that's exactly where it failed.
That's correct. So this gas tube is the hottest at this gas block. Now why would that be, Autumn? Why would the gas tube get hotter here than it would anywhere else?
I don't know.
Because the heat concentration in the gas block. So this thing's working sort of like a heat sink and is holding all that heat in there, and also the gas forces are the hottest at the gas port at the end of the gas tube.
Oh.
So you've got all that heat coming through, and it's at its hottest point right there, and all that heat getting in there. And you've also got the weakest point in the metallurgy, well, not the metallurgy, but the actual gas tube itself is its weakest at the end. Now why would that be? I'm sending you to school. I'm teaching you stuff. I'm in teaching mode. Well, that's because this pin goes through the end of the gas tube itself. So you've got that weakened. It's sort of structurally weakened a little bit because you've got a hole. You've got a roll pin that has to hold the actual, gas tube in there as well.
Yeah. So then it gets weakened, and then
Right.
just.
And then you've also got the hole in the gas tube. So that's
Yes.
another area where, obviously there has to be a hole for the gases to flow back into the gun.
Yeah.
So with that hole in there and all that heat right there, that's usually where it's gonna be the weakest, is right at the end of the gas
Yeah.
block in there.
Yeah.
So we kind of figured just from, past observations that that's probably where the, where it would fail.
Yeah. But where is the pin? Did it blow up?
It jettisoned, oh no, actually the pin's still in there. It is. And the end of the gas tube is still in there. So it's a good observation, Autumn. Look at that. She's paying attention. The roll pin is still in there, and the end of the gas tube is still in there. You can kind of see. We'll pull it apart and show you later. And also, look, the gas block kind of got a little loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
That's, we're subjecting this gun to something it's not designed to do, and we're asking this firearm to do a heck of a lot of things it's not really designed to do, but that's an interesting result. So what we'll probably do in a future video is we're going to do another meltdown just on this exact spec of upper. We might send it back to Wolfpack and have them check it out so they can see where it failed just for their records so they know. And we're gonna do the same thing with the suppressor, make sure that the manufacturer can inspect it and see where there might be any potential shortcomings that need to be addressed. But overall, interesting result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that fireworks show. I was standing back there, and I could see the sparks just coming out of the end of the gun. It was so funny.
Yep.
Like, I'm just like, is the end of the can melting?
Well, so those sparks that you're seeing come out of there is actually portions of like jacket materials. You've got all that copper off of the jackets, especially with like titanium. You got copper and titanium rubbing against each other. It's creating all these crazy sparks because it's just sending those jacket fragments out as well.
Yeah.
So you're kind of getting a bit of that as well.
Little fireworks show.
That's right, little
Yeah,
fireworks
but,
show.
like, it was kind of turning this way, kind of, and I could see the end of the can right here was like red hot, like almost melting red hot.
That's right. Well, I appreciate you bringing me the gingerbread house, and I appreciate you bringing your crew along and filming some cool footage.
Anytime.
We hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We have many more meltdowns on the way, hopefully. Let me know what you want to see, and we will try our best to accommodate it. Thank you so very much for the years of support. I apologize it took so long to get another meltdown video out, but I promise we're going to try to get them back to you on a little bit more regular basis, so stay tuned for that. Also, a huge thanks to all of our Patreon supporters for supporting what we do, as well as the folks that go over on Ballistic Inc. If you love what we do and you want to support us directly, go pick yourself up a snazzy t-shirt. Go and subscribe to Armory, follow them on Instagram, and also make sure you check out Autumn's Armory. She is an absolute battle axe, and she knows a lot more about guns than you think. She's very clever, and she's a great shot. So make sure you check out Autumn. Have a great day. Many more videos on the way. We'll see you soon.